Hello everyone, Johnny R here at Tom with Volkswagen Indianapolis, and this Pomelo Yellow GTI Autobahn with the manual transmission is now sold. So, you actually got one of my very good previous clients coming back. This is not his first Golf model. He had a Mark 7R, and now he's giving the Mark 8 GTI Autobahn. And you know what? He's so cool. He's gonna let me do just a little bit of my wannabe auto journalism, since I didn't get a chance to do my in-depth review of this particular GTI. So we'll come back with later GTIs hopefully and get my in-depth thoughts going on, but I just wanted to at least get my next level thoughts on this here GTI. You know, it's a phenomenal vehicle. I have driven it a little bit in the time that it's been here at this dealership, and it's phenomenal. Now, I haven't gone crazy, mind you, but the performance definitely seems to be there. And with the limited test drives I did take with this vehicle, I mean, when people would see what it was made of, you know, it was definitely more thrilling. From all the reviews, internal and external from Volkswagen, it all seems to be pretty true when it comes to performance. Taking 7 pounds of unsprung weight out of the subframe, adding more power and torque and better fuel efficiency at the same time, keeping a manual transmission for us here. I mean, it's just all really good stuff. And y'all already know I prefer a shifted Euro. Some of you already know I don't really mind sound actors very much at all. You know, it's great that you can delete it, but not necessarily something I'm too terribly concerned about. I actually considered leasing this myself, but coming from a Mark 7 all-track IS38, which means, you know, it's got that generation's Golf R turbo on it with APR software. It's pumping out about 350 horsepower and 337 pound-feet of torque. According to APR, I never dynoed my own all-track. It definitely would be a performance downgrade when it comes to power, but the handling is definitely better in this new GTI. The new vehicle dynamics management system does an excellent job communicating lots of different stimuli that the vehicle is feeling to different parts of it to allow it to perform better in pretty much every way, whether it be a daily driving scenario like now, or I'm barely doing anything with the vehicle, or, you know, should my client, when he goes to the track with it, you know, go balls to the wall with it, well, guess what? You know, the VAQ and XCS Plus and the DCC and the engine itself will all be working in unison to keep the car going in the direction that he wants it to go, as fast as he wants it to go. So I love the ambient lighting, of course, 30 colors, and I love how you can match up the yellow with the Pomelo on the outside. Pretty sweet. Autobahn getting this here heads-up display is pretty cool too. I know Volkswagen's a little late to the party on heads-up displays when it's comparing to other manufacturers. I like that they went with the digital cockpit and really went with customizing that first, but I love the fact that they really brought it here with the Golf GTI Autobahn and of course on the Golf R. I'll continue my thoughts after I put some more fuel in this here vehicle. All right.
So you can just do all sorts of things. There's even an extra configuration, more than what was offered in the ID4. God, love this view configuration of the digital cockpit. So instead of just the gauge cluster and the panoramic view, which is even better now since it actually has an overlay display. That's got to be the best. Oh, that's perfect. You can still keep your sunshade closed while you open your sunroof.
All right, time for part 2. Now, this is a very short drive to and from the gas station as per my sales process for preparing my vehicles for my clients for new and certified pre-owned Volkswagens. So again, not a whole lot of time doing this. I'm definitely not going to get all of my thoughts of the GTI Autobahn out of my head, but I at least wanted to get on some of the things I've seen in the groups and online, things like that. And of course, you know, some of the things that touch my own heart. And you know, talked about heads-up display, the ambient lighting, Harman Kardon. It's awesome. I hate the fact that we're gonna have to distinguish which vehicles will come with Harman Kardon and what not when it should be standard on SE and Autobahn. But it's just an unfortunate reality of the current world that we live in. You know, so since the vehicle does have Harman Kardon, that's awesome, being one of the early launch model GTIs. So, you know, when it's all even, I can see how people might, you know, think it sounds a little disappointing, especially if they came from the Fender premium audio system available in the Mark 7s. And because I definitely have my Fender premium audio and my Mark 7 All-Track SE back when they offered that on the SE level without a package. And you know, it does bump, but I've also got it customized. You know, once you start customizing the Harman Kardon here, you really get a dynamic feel. And it's a really good sound system, so I have no complaints about it, but just playing with it and with my client earlier today. The driving feel is great. They didn't, you know, nothing was really broken when it came to the transmission, so they didn't need to fix anything there. Feels great. You know, I hear that it uses the same clutch, and you know, torque limitations there if you're going to be modifying, blah blah blah. You know, totally get it. But my Mark 7 All-Track IS38 has been holding the same stock clutch, and I've turned over 70,000 miles. Most of those miles have been, you know, while it's pushing an IS38 turbo. So pretty neat. You know, just really depends on how you treat them, I think, and really how lucky you are. What else can I go over about this car that I really like? I don't know. I just really enjoy driving it. It's easy to downshift rev match, just like the Mark 7s were. Just maybe even a little bit easier here in the Mark 8. Just a really good feel. It feels like a better car. Oh, and another thing, exclusive to my dealership, we offer lifetime powertrain coverage. And this vehicle is being sold with lifetime powertrain coverage since it is a purchase and not a lease. And don't get me wrong, I modified my Mark 7 All-Track IS38, as you now know. And, you know, even my client has modified some vehicles of his own. So he's buying this vehicle and he's getting the lifetime powertrain coverage, and it's up to him if he A, wants to keep the car that long, or B, wants to modify it and forego that coverage. It's not a tax on enthusiasts. It's not something to punish people for wanting to do more with their vehicle. It's literally something that Tom Wood does to, you know, retain business. And no matter what price the vehicle is sold at, because if you look online, you might be able to see what price it is before it's gone. Even at a discount, or even a significant one, you still get the lifetime powertrain coverage. So it's not a markup on enthusiasts, as you know, adjustment for enthusiasts, as I've seen some people say before. But I just want to make sure that people understand that this is an added value, and it's your choice whether to take it or not. It's like if we decide to give free ice cream cones with the sale of a car, no matter your discount, you know, I mean, right, that's just part of the deal. Just like our free car washes for life, free top off of fluids, all that good stuff. So at this point, I'm just trying to find a good spot for this vehicle to get in line for my cleanup crew. But I think I'm just gonna park it right back here like I did the last one. But again, this is not my deep dive video as I had previously wanted it to be, because someone's coming in to pick up this vehicle, so we're going to respect that. But also, a good client of mine that respects the fact that I love to make videos like this and make videos for the public at large, and especially my enthusiasts out there. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video, even though it wasn't like the biggest, best walk and drive as I've ever done here on the channel. But you know, I'm looking forward to getting more GTIs in. You know, we have the SE and the S, both in Oryx White coming in, both with cloth seats. The SE is in manual and the S is in DSG. You guys might have seen my update video on that already. And speaking of Mark 8 updates, we do have another Pomelo Yellow GTI Autobahn coming, this time with the DSG transmission instead of the shifted yourself here. So if you prefer to have the snappy shifting 7 forward-facing gears helping you out, and you want that limited, you know, awesome Pomelo Yellow color, that's 1 of 700. Then I've got another one coming, and you'll get the lifetime powertrain coverage, which will also cover that DSG transmission, unlike the full components of the manual transmission, talking about the clutch, of course. Your clutches are covered in the lifetime powertrain coverage. So, awesome value there. You'll be faster in the 0 to 60 and probably around the track, depending on driver mods. So, I'm not a transmission snob, at least not anymore. To each their own. I would love a manual transmission, but the next guy might want the DSG. Who am I to judge? So again, this has been Johnny R here at Talmadge Volkswagen Indianapolis. Really excited to bring you guys more information on the Mk8 GTI and one day the Golf R. One thing I will say is that, you know, I personally would go for the Golf R because I already have a modded wagon with over 300 horsepower. And if I got to drive a Mk8 Golf R, I would probably be impressed with the new all-wheel drive system, providing power laterally and not just longitudinally. And I would probably be impressed with the R button on the steering wheel, allowing you to release inhibitors and go full force. That's really cool. The exclusive R dash is pretty cool, I've seen. I think that shifting a manual transmission to R would be a lot of fun and maybe pretty easy to do, especially if you're used to driving a Mark 7 Golf R or R'd up all-track. This is all just speculation, by the way, just from watching videos and things like that. But if I drove a Golf R, I think I'd really enjoy it and look forward to it accompanying my all-track one day. Maybe even replacing it, but I don't know, because wagons are awesome and we don't do them in America anymore. Thanks, American market. But hey, the American market also keeps us making awesome products like this too, so I cannot complain. Again, guys, when you need a car, you call Johnny R, and I'll see you next time.